14.2 here, tips, real quick, overhead squat. I would look narrow versus wide. I personally would keep with whatever you're doing your snatch with. However, if you find that when you overhead squat, being wide taxes your wrist a little bit more and you get lazy with the shoulder, then I would come narrow. However, when you come narrow, you're gonna have, it's gonna have a little bit more taxing on your range of motion and your flexibility in your spine and also in your shoulder. I would definitely snatch your first rep. If I can't snatch the first rep, I would power snatch, set up, and then overhead squat. If the weight is heavier for you beginners, I highly recommend that you would power clean, get it on your back, put it over your head, and overhead squat it. Obviously, that would take a long time, but I don't want to leave anybody out of this and not be able to do the open workout. And I feel like most of us should be able to clean it, get it on our back, and cut over and squat it. Make sure that when you're in that overhead position, you have that broken wrist. A lot of us will try to have that straight wrist, and then that overhead position, that's going to put a lot of strain on us for that pull-up, so it's going to tax us. Hook in versus hook out. I don't really know how I would feel about it. I kind of have mixed feelings about it because when I snatch, I always tell athletes to take the hook out. However, if the bar is crashing on them, I tell them to keep the hook in, so that way they stay connected to the bar. Also too, in the overhead for this WOD, keeping the hook in may keep you connected to the bar longer, and when you're active, it also will keep you maybe from squeezing your hands real tight. So if you're a squeezer and you don't relax your hands with your thumb out, I definitely would recommend keeping that hook grip in so that way you don't get that forearm pump. Don't get lazy with those shoulders. Make sure you get a nice position, set yourself up, proper overhead squat. Try to relax and recover on that overhead. When we look at the chest to fly, chest to bars, aka chest to flies or butter chest, butterfly versus kipping, this is an interesting conversation. Butterflies technically should be less effort because it is centrifugal force. Once I start something in motion, it stays in motion. However, that's not always the case, specifically because inside of the butterfly versus the kipping, I can do about a 1.5, 1.25 to 1 kip. So for every 3 butterflies, I've only done 1 kipping. So my pull-up number would exponentially compile quickly. So that's why butterflies sometimes seem to be like they're more. It's not necessarily that they're more effort, because they shouldn't be more effort. It should be less effort. However, it's just the number gets compiled in a shorter amount of time. So if kipping keeps you a little more relaxed, a little more consistent, I might stay with what I know. However, if you're very good at butterflies, you should be able to stay relaxed, move it through that range of motion, and actually just get that circle going. And in turn, it should be better for you. But if kipping is where you're going to end up, you're not going to lose that much more ground, and more in less time might be too much, right? So back to that idea of that butterfly. Keep speed up. So when you find yourself starting to slow down, move on to the next set, scheme, or game plan that you have in your pace. So don't do slow reps. It's just going to slow you down. Same thing with the overhead squat. If you find yourself pausing at the top, you're already just wasting time. You're better off dropping it, picking it up, and going again. Again, stay with what you know and trust. So don't try to learn butterfly pull-ups now. Definitely get those ready for next year. Same thing if you don't have a chest to bar. Don't get upset. Just listen to your coaches when they tell you, hey, hit your chest. Really work on that. Take those training wheels off and get in there, do a couple of workouts without it, get capped, but get that strength up. It's very important. Reps, if you look at the rep count, 8 reps of butterfly pull-ups are going to be done in about 8 to 10 seconds, where 8 reps of kipping pull-ups are going to be done in 10 to 12 seconds. So again, you're not losing that much time. When reps slow, again, move on, and then at all costs, or like if you start failing or rip, I would cross my grip. Same thing with you beginners, I would cross my grip so it's a little easier maybe to get that little extra effort to hit my chest. But what I wouldn't do is train with a cross grip. It will diminish returns in the sense of muscle ups and other exercises. All right, I hope the tips help out. You guys have a great workout.